Welcome back to my channel. Today, going to talk about critters abroad. Let's talk about critters. It's a basic part of life. Coming from the United States, it's seen as like a very disgusting thing, and most times it's like, oh, if you have critters, there's something wrong with the unit, or you live in a poor area. But that's just not the case in the rest of the world. Most of the rest of the world, you just deal with critters. You try your best to contain them. You spray, you clean up after yourself immediately, but they're gonna come. They're gonna come, especially when you're in tropic areas. Oh, and by the way, the things that are hanging in the background, I always forget to talk about this. I live in Thailand. There is only washers in the apartment complexes in your building in your apartment, and there's no drying. You air dry everything. So we're cleaning the sheets and the blankets and stuff. And there's a bar in our room, in our apartment to hang. So that's real life right here. This is real life. Anyway, back to the subject of critters and cleaning. Kind of connects in terms of cleaning. Um, Last night we had some critters, had some ants, and this morning I woke up to a crazy amount of ants in the kitchen and in the bathroom, and they were coming in through cracks in the walls. And it's not the first time we've had ants in this apartment, but it's the first time it was like this bad. And if you just leave literally like a crumb of rice, just like one rice on the ground, they will come, they will smell it, and they will come get it. They'll even eat like dead skin on the ground. So you just have to be very careful, and you have to clean up after their chemtrails so they don't come back. But you can't really stop it. We have these balls that I forgot what they're called. I just call them nap balls because the full name is like naphthalexine or something like that. But yeah, we have these nap balls, and those were working. They're very like pungent and odorous, and that would usually keep them away, but they don't care about them anymore. They got used to them. They don't care. So I actually had to go to 7-Eleven and get spray, like actual ant, cockroach, a different like silver bug spray. Luckily, we don't have cockroaches. We do have silver bugs. I've seen a few silver fish, silver bug, whatever they're called, silverfish. I've seen a few of them. But I don't really care that much about silverfish. It's more about the ants because they are the nuisance. And yeah, I had to kill those. And then later today, my wife cleaned the bathroom because it was her turn. And she like did some deep cleaning. And so we don't have any ants right now. It's great. I do think the spray was pretty effective though, because it's just chemicals, just kill them right on contact. But she erased the chemtrails, so hopefully they don't come back. And it's not the first time we've had to deal with this. Living abroad, we always have to deal with like ants and cockroaches. I've definitely like been in Airbnbs in Mexico, and they were filled with cockroaches, and I had to like leave, you know, in a hurry, in an emergency kind of factor. I've also um Oh, in multiple places in Mexico had cockroaches, but usually it wasn't an infestation. It was only one place that it was an infestation, but it was like you see one or something like that, and that would be kind of annoying. But ants are just par for the course. Like you just gonna like I don't know any place where there wasn't ants. Even the nicest places we've been, it's just like the ants are coming. The ants will be there. You can't escape the ants. All you can do is be clean, clean as possible after yourself. We also don't like uh with our trash. We put our trash in the freezer so that it doesn't smell. We don't have only trash that we have is like paper and plastic products, but all of the food trash goes in our freezer, and then we take it out to the main trash on our floor every other day, basically. It's on the other side of the building, so sometimes we're a little lazy, so we don't want to walk all the way over there. So yeah, it's another reason to put it in the freezer. But it does help with odors and keeping the pests away is to like just put all the stuff in the freezer. But yeah, it's a normal part of life. You will have to deal with it if you are moving abroad, unless maybe you're going to some country that just doesn't have a lot of critters. They don't have a lot of heat or humidity, and they don't deal with that, like tropical weather. But then they probably have something else. Like if you go to Australia, you're gonna have to deal with snakes and big ass spiders, wolf spiders, it could be coming in your house. Spiders literally this size, this big, and you got to deal with that. Not necessarily poisonous, but you gotta somehow get it out of your house. And then, but the snakes are poisonous, though. The snakes are poisonous, and they're kind of everywhere. You gotta worry about that. You just different things for where you live, and it is something you should be aware of. Like maybe you're not used to certain things. Mosquitoes. I mean, mosquitoes are just a thing. It's just if you live in a tropical climate, mosquitoes are everywhere. That is just like a part of life, living in a tropical place. Funny enough, I have not had big of an issue with mosquitoes in Thailand. I had more of an issue with mosquitoes in Mexico and the no-see-ums. Those would mess me up, me and my wife. They would get us all the time. But being in Thailand, every once in a while we'll get bit by a mosquito, maybe like once every 2 weeks, once a month, maybe, but like we're not getting eat up over here. It's very interesting. Like, I guess the species doesn't really like our blood or something. I don't know, we're not local. Which is nice. Don't hate that. But yeah, you do have to think about critters, bugs. Um, they're around. There's something you're gonna have to deal with. Maybe you wouldn't have to deal with it if you have a lot of money, if you're very wealthy and you live in a place that just like the like over extreme amount of um spraying and pest control. Because actually when we lived in Guatemala, we were in Guatemala City for 3 months. We were in a very like uh upper middle class, wealthy neighborhood, and we lived in a high rise, and we didn't really have any critters. I think once we had a cockroach, maybe one time. Oh yeah, and I like freaked out about it. And I was like, "Oh my God, how's this cockroach getting here?" But it had been raining and it might have come in through the balcony but other than that, like we never ever had any critters. Like they were like really good about containing the bugs. So, um yeah. I just wanted to share that. Today was a little, real life situation of like, oh no, gotta deal with the ants. The ants be serious around here. And it's just a good reminder to be cleaner, if anything. It just makes you not be dirty and nasty. You just can't. It's just not unless you're okay with living around lots of ants. And I'm sure most people aren't. But like, yeah, you just have to be clean and it kind of makes you a better person because you're cleaner. Yeah, you do have to take out your trash every day.
States, like a giant trash can sitting in your kitchen for like a week.
Yeah, my wife was off camera. I don't know if you could hear her, but she was saying like in the United States, it's very common to put like your trash in the kitchen and it's in there for like a week or more. Like that's just not a thing here. You have to take out your trash every day, or like we do, like, which is put our trash in the freezer. Like you have to do something.
You don't buy frozen food.
Yeah, we don't buy frozen food, so we don't really. Only thing in the freezer is usually ice. So there's no like issue with putting food in our food waste in the freezer. We've pretty much done that in every country we've been to. We've put food in the freezer.
We used to do it in the States for our compost.
That's true. We did. We did put it in for our compost in the States. We would do that. Um, and I remember we did have a trash can in the States, and we would let it fill up, and you would get so disgusted by
I was
it.
so grossed out by it.
Yeah, you would take it out a lot. Because it is kind of gross to have something be sitting and rotting in your house for days. That doesn't make a lot of sense. It's really common here. Also, most places, and including Bangkok and when we were in Mexico, Puerto Vallarta was like this. They pick up the trash every day. It's not once a week. It's literally every day. So when I go to the trash can on our floor, it's not full. Like it's almost never full. And then the people who pick up trash come in the middle of the night. And I've seen them once, because a couple times I've gone to 7-Eleven in the middle of the night and I saw them, going around at 4 a.m. picking up the trash in the neighborhood. So like it's just a very common part of life to be more diligent and more clean about your trash other places in the world. And that's it. That's what I wanted to share today is like be prepared if you want to live abroad that you're going to have to adjust to different types of living. And that might be one of them. You might be taken by surprise if you're coming from the United States that you can't just leave your trash out. That's just not a possibility. You won't be able to do that. But it's for the better. It's for the best. Trust me. It'll make you a better person, a cleaner person. And who doesn't want to have good hygiene? All right. That's it for today. Thank you for listening. And of course, I make videos every single day, so I will see you tomorrow. And I appreciate y'all, and see you in the next one. Peace. Real quick before you leave, if you enjoyed this video and you like this kind of content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm really building this channel for people who want honest conversations about traveling, living abroad, financial freedom, and just figuring life out outside the box. I'm not your average guy. I occupy quite a lot of identities that are not mainstream. My perspective gives a unique outlook that doesn't always get a voice in popular media, and I appreciate anyone open to hearing my voice, knowledge, and experience. So if that's your vibe, subscribe, join the community, and let's keep exploring together.